Nature is a mirror for us. These seasons are a mirror for us that we can look into and start to witness the cycles that we as humans move through outside of ourselves. Welcome to Intuition Unlocked, the podcast empowering empathic women who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, or disconnected from their intuition, begin to trust their sensitivities, find inner clarity, and show up with embodied, unstoppable confidence in their daily lives. I am your host, Olivia Ashley, an empath and intuitive, and I am so happy you're here. Hello, and welcome back to Intuition Unlocked, the space where we explore the wisdom within and the guidance all around us. I am so glad you are here. Today, we're delving into a topic that touches every aspect of our lives, the natural cycles and seasons that shape our experiences. We will explore how understanding these rhythms can help us navigate life's transitions with more grace, strength, and clarity. In this episode, I'm offering you a powerful overview of the 4 seasons and life cycles. Spring, which is growth, summer, which is birth, fall, which is decay, and winter, which is death, and how these mirror what we experience as women, as humans, and as souls. No matter what season you're currently in, this episode will help you understand the energetic themes behind it. And this is a foundational conversation to support you year-round. And know I'll be diving even deeper into each specific season in future episodes. I think this topic is really helpful because learning to see life through this cyclical, spiralic lens has been life-changing. It's helped me stop chasing the highs and start honoring the ebbs, the stillness, the growth, and the grief as equally sacred. And I hope it does the same for you. So let's get into it. And I want to start by talking about how you can start to embrace life's natural rhythms and why this is important. Life is not a straight line, even though our calendar, our clocks might make us think so. It's truly a spiral of continuous growth, transformation, and renewal. Just as nature moves through the cycles of spring, summer, autumn, and winter, so do we experience phases of growth, birth, decay, and death and grief in our personal journeys. We can also experience a new phase of the cycle at any time. So whatever you are moving through internally may not always mirror what others or nature are moving through. And that's okay. But it's still helpful to understand the themes and the energetics behind each of these seasons and cycles. Because your journey is unique to you. And no matter what season you're in, it's helpful to understand the wisdom and the energetics that the seasons and cycles are offering you, as it can bring profound insights into your own life. It can help you honor where you are. It can ground you into your reality and help show you what you need at any given moment. And I think it's a really helpful reminder that we are constantly changing. Change is front and center in life, even though we often want to be comfortable and stay where we are or be really in control. The reality is things are changing in every moment, in every day, and we can't always foresee what we're going to face. So understanding what these cycles can kind of offer us can help us understand and move through hardships, challenges, overwhelm when we face these changes. So let's begin with spring, the season of awakening and new beginnings and the growth stage of the cycle. Energetically, spring is the breath after a long exhale, the in-breath that stirs energy into motion after a deep dormancy. The season holds the energy of reawakening, hope, and possibility. There's a pulsing aliveness that is coming beneath the surface, and it's before we see the full bloom. It's the return of light after the darkness, a parting of the clouds, and a time where clarity can start to emerge. Spring reminds us of our natural capacity for renewal. It teaches you that you are living a cyclical life, not a linear one, and that after every death or ending, something new is going to rise. Spiritually, spring is a season where we remember our soul's desire to grow, express, and expand. It holds sacred lessons and trusting the process, even when you're just beginning to unfurl. Some reflective questions you can ask yourself when you're in the season of spring or in the cycle of growth are, what part of me is stirring awake after a season of stillness? Where do I feel called to begin again, even if I'm unsure? What would I plant if I trusted it would bloom? Those reflections will help you get grounded and illuminate what you're facing. And other ways to support yourself when you're in this cycle is by creating gentle morning rituals that help awaken your body and spirit. Remember, starting to bring movement, starting to bring light back into your days and the room. You can cleanse your space or wardrobe with incense or smoke or energetically, and this will help to clear out the old, which will make space for the new. You can also begin a creative practice or a new project that reflects your growth or keeps you accountable. And you can use herbs, foods, and movement that invigorate your body, starting to get warm again, come back into the strength. Herbs like nettle or lemon balm can be supportive, and taking walks in nature can remind you of the freshness of life, the new beginnings, seeing things starting to bloom and come back from the dormancy of winter. The essence of spring and the cycle of growth reminds you that beginnings are here as the internal invitation to try again, to be curious, to return to life with open arms. When you can embrace spring, you can embrace hope, and you can let yourself be a learner, wanderer, and visionary of what's possible. That moves us into summer, the season of expansion, fullness, and expression, and the cycle of birth. Summer is the peak of the cycle. It's warm, radiant, expressive, and bold. It's the fire element that's associated with fullness and celebration. There's lots of doing, there's activity, there's creativity, community, connection. Life is out in the open often. There's nothing to hide, and your heart is fully expressed and forward. It's a time where manifestation, fertility, and outward movement often come. This season and cycle can help teach you how to shine, not for performance, but as an authentic expression of who you are. Spiritually, this is a season to align with your truth and live it out loud. It's a season of taking up space and allowing your inner growth to be seen out in the world. It's where you learn to hold your power with intention and integrity. A few reflective questions you can ask yourself in this time are, where am I being invited to be seen? What desires are ready to be expressed or celebrated? How can I experience joy and pleasure without guilt? And some ways you can support yourself in this season are by prioritizing practices that bring you joy and connection. Think dance, music, getting together with friends, cooking. You can also allow yourself to say yes to things. Use your gut and your intuition to know what's right for you, but take some aligned action. Follow those last-minute invitations and see what comes of it. You can also balance your output that often comes in this season with some grounding. So stay rooted in this time. Find ways to come back to yourself, to recenter, and even rest as you need, so then you can show up as you want to. And nourish yourself with sun foods, cooling herbs such as lavender or peppermint, and rest and stay hydrated. The season of summer and the cycle of birth is so important because in a world that often wants to suppress your light, summer calls you to rise and radiate. It teaches you that full bloom is not the end goal, but it's part of the sacred rhythm, and it's one that you can deeply enjoy and step into. This season helps you reclaim your joy, your agency, and the wisdom of being fully alive, which can really bring momentum and change and opportunity into your life when you're able to fully be in this space and in this season. This brings us to fall, the season of harvest, letting go, and integration, and the cycle of decay. So autumn brings the great turning inward. The light begins to wane, and nature starts to release everything. The trees show us how to let go with grace. The animals start to prep for winter and dormancy. The geese fly south to make sure they're safe for the winter. And fall is a season of harvesting. We harvest what we've grown, we assess what's going to stay, and we gently shed what no longer serves or needs to be let go in preparation for the winter. Autumn teaches us the sacredness of endings, not as failure, but as transformation. It's a season of honoring the efforts you've put in, the gathering of the lessons from what you learned from the cycles before, and the beginning to descend into a reflective period. You are starting to integrate the growth of spring and summer and prepare your soul for the darker days ahead. And they all play a role. Every part of the cycle is so important to lean into and welcome and honor. Some reflections you can ask yourself are, what have I cultivated this year that I can now honor and harvest? What am I ready to release? How can I create rituals to process and celebrate change? And ways you can support yourself in this time are by journaling or reflecting on what you've learned or achieved this year. You can also create intentional release rituals with writing, with burning, composting, just cleaning up anything that needs to be let go or composted and preparing for what you're stepping into. It's like the preparation for a long sleep. And you can use grounding foods and warming herbs like cinnamon, nutmeg, cayenne, and bring nourishing routines that warm your body, let you start slowing down, but still retain strength. And the season of autumn and the cycle of decay is important because letting go is sacred. Autumn reminds us that endings are not only inevitable, they are necessary for future growth. They are definitely uncomfortable, and yet when you can integrate and release, you can become a clear vessel for what is to come. You can make peace with change and allow your wisdom to deepen, and you're giving yourself the space and the time to do so. And that leads us to the final cycle of winter, the season of rest and deep inner knowing, and the cycle of death. Winter is a season of stillness, silence, and inner vision. On the surface, it looks like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, there's a deep inner transformation that is at work. It is a season of trusting the unseen and honoring the void. Winter calls you to stop doing and start being, to slow down, to turn inward, to reserve resources, and to rest not just physically, but soulfully. Because it's a sacred time where you are given the opportunity to explore the depths of your inner world. You can process grief. You can start to hear your inner voice a little bit more strongly because you're taking time to find space and rest for yourself. And you can begin to dream again from a place of deep alignment. Not that you're going to take action yet on those dreams, but you can begin to reflect both on what you've moved through prior and begin to set your sights and understand what is it that is to come. What is it that is here that wants to be known? What can I process? What can I feel into? And who do I want to be on the other side of this? It's such an essential rite of passage to witness and be in this season of winter and in this cycle of death. We fear death as a society, and yet death is one of the most catalytic experiences that can really bring true alchemization and transformation into your life and your being. It is a space where you can fall apart and be the phoenix that comes back out of the ashes. But we often don't honor this space or take time for it because it is truly uncomfortable and it can be hard. But know that it's really here to help. It helps teach you that you are not meant to bloom year-round and that rest is not a luxury, but a requirement for that rebirth. Some reflections you can ask yourself are, what is asking for my presence in the quiet? Where have I been pushing instead of allowing? What grief or truth wants to be felt and held and let go? Ways you can support yourself in this season are you can embrace the slowness and the silence that is offered to you. It is truly a practice of deep rest. and it might not be your norm, so it may take some time to intentionally settle and rest and give yourself that space. You can limit your external stimulation, especially the digital noise or the constantly being on. Remember that at this time, physically, biologically, we are meant to slow down a bit and reserve our resources and be together with our community. You can create a really cozy space within your home. Maybe it's a couch or a favorite chair or corner in your home where you just have all your cozy things, a candle, a blanket, a pillow, a book, to just help you sink into this space of rest and comfort. And you can do rituals that help bring reflection. So this could be journaling, this could be pulling oracle cards or using a pendulum, just asking those questions and getting support. You can also use supportive herbs and foods that bring comfort and nourish your system. So think of root vegetables, think of broths, really warm soups, and adaptogenic herbs such as reishi, maca, turkey tail, ashwagandha, those ones that are going to help support your nervous system. And winter is important because it is the womb. It is the place where all new life begins, though nothing can yet be seen because you are still through this process of endings. When you skip or resist this season, you can really burn out. You can become overwhelmed, dysregulated, and exhausted because you're not listening to what is being asked of you in this time. Yet when you're able to honor it, you can begin to reconnect to the wisdom of your soul and truly honor the season you're in. This might be your favorite season, or it might be the season you do not look forward to. But no matter what spectrum you're on, remember that winter is offering you a deep remembering that you are still worthy in the stillness and being in the quiet and resting, that you do not need to be productive to be enough or worthy. So these seasons are not linear stages you pass through once. They are reoccurring cycles that you will revisit again and again throughout your life. Sometimes these cycles match up with the seasons that nature is offering you, but not always. So recognize where you're at and recognize that the spiritual nature of existence helps you to be more compassionate with yourself and helps you to trust the process, because that is the goal. To move from a state of dysregulation, overwhelm, confusion into that state of growth, of clarity, connection, and confidence. And I think utilizing the seasons and these cycles as a frame of reference in your life and to understand the deeper themes and meanings that come with them can help you better understand the reason why you might be moving through what you're moving through. It won't fix it. You still have to do the work to show up and be accountable and loving to yourself. And yet nature is a mirror for us. These seasons are a mirror for us that we can look into and start to witness the cycles that we as humans move through outside of ourselves. We can see the beauty, we can see the struggle, we can see the strength that comes again and again as the transitions happen. And know that you are strong and capable, and no matter where you are supported. So something else that can help you as you're moving through your cycles, and if you're just wanting to get better in tune with nature, is by honoring the solstices and the equinoxes that we have year to year. So these solstices and equinoxes mark significant points in the Earth's journey around the sun, and they hold deep spiritual significance. So starting with the spring equinox, which is around March 20th, this brings a time of balance between day and night. It symbolizes new beginnings and the awakenings of life, and it's an opportunity to set intentions and embrace the energy of renewal. Then we move into the summer solstice. This typically happens around June 21st. This is the longest day of the year, and it represents illumination, abundance, and the height of energy. So it's a powerful time for manifestation and gratitude. Then we have the autumn equinox, which is around September 22nd. It's a moment of equilibrium between light and dark, and it invites reflection on balance in your life and the process of letting go. And finally, we have the winter solstice, which is around December 21st. This is the longest night of the year, and it symbolizes introspection, rebirth, and the return of light. It's a sacred time to set intentions and embrace the potential of new beginnings. So celebrating these transitions can help deepen your connection to the natural world and your own inner cycle. And I think it's a really beautiful practice to get in tune with your body, with nature, and the rhythms of life and the earth that we live on. So to help you integrate the seasonal and cyclical wisdom, there's a few ways you can start to align with the natural rhythms. First, reflect on which season you currently resonate with in your personal life. Think to the 4 I just moved through and which stands out for you the most. It might be relative to the season you're actually witnessing in nature around you, but know it might be different. Second, honor the lessons and the energies of that season through rituals, journaling, and meditation. Really witness and be present in the cycle of life that you are within. And lastly, trust the process, trust the cycle, and know that every phase serves a purpose in your growth and in your life path. So honor it, respect it, give love to yourself through whatever you're moving through, because you are strong and you have everything that you need. So to recap the episode, these seasons are not just external. They live in our bones, our breath, our cycles, emotions, and our lived experiences. You are not meant to remain in one season or cycle forever. Grief and joy, death and birth, blooming and resting all belong in your life. And when you can learn to honor the rhythm of it, you can stop resisting and start remembering and stepping into your life fully. This guide is not meant to tell you what to feel, but it's an offering to help you notice what's already moving within you. I hope it can be a mirror for your truth, a balm for your soul, and a spark to help you live with more awareness, grace, and self-compassion. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with one friend who you think might benefit from it as well. Also, remember we are doing a giveaway for a free 1-hour virtual Akashic Record reading with me. You can enter this giveaway by leaving a rating and review on the show and taking a screenshot and sending that to me via email linked in the show notes, or DM me on Instagram at wildlyolivia. That will enter you into this giveaway, which ends May 31st. Also, intuitive sessions with me are discounted at 10% right now on my website as a big thank you for all you listeners. So if you would like more personal guidance or support, please take a look and book a session with me. Thank you so much for being here, for listening, and for showing up for yourself, because these episodes are made with intention to help you learn, to help you grow, and to help you grow your intuition. Thank you for joining me on Intuition Unlocked. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of insight, guidance, or intuitive inspiration. To dive deeper into our community and get access to exclusive content, head to my website at www.olivia-ashley.com and subscribe to my newsletter. You can also connect with me on Instagram at wildlyolivia for daily inspiration and updates. Remember, your intuition is your superpower. Trust it, nurture it, and let it guide you. Until next time, I'm Olivia Ashley, and I can't wait to connect with you again.